Okay, so we're with Mike Mohney, Senior Technology Manager over at Kingston, and he has one of the coolest looking PCs that you might ever see, and this is what you do, right, Mike?
This
you
is
like
what I do.
Computers look super cool.
I do it professionally and personally, yes.
Well, that's great. So what are you showing us here? Presumably the SSD drives.
I'm showing off the latest and greatest from our HyperX all the way down to our consumer level products. This board is featuring a quad channel kit of overclock memory that's used on the Intel X79 chipset. So real high performance, running at 1866 right out of the box, what we call our plug and play memory.
X79, isn't that the car James Bond drove?
No, I think that was the DB9 or something like that, yeah.
So you have some demos to show us. Show us something amazing.
Show us something amazing. All right. Well, why don't I show you what I built into the box first. Starting at the top would be our bleeding edge high performance solid state drive called the HyperX. And this comes in 120 and 240 gig capacity. Read and writes on this thing are super fast. 555 megabytes per second on a read and 510 on a write using the SATA 6 gigabit interface. Next would be our KC100 drive. Now these drives are identical internally, but they're tuned differently. Our KC100 is tuned for a business environment and has some enterprise attributes built into it. Below that would be our consumer class drive. So you want to get into solid state drives and you don't want to break the bank. Our V200 series, this is like a 4th generation product. We have capacities up to 256 gigs, also SATA 6 gigabit, very high performance. Next would be our entry-level or boot drives. These can also be used in industrial environments. Low-capacity drives, we call these the S50 series. And then lastly would be our MS100 drive. You can see that back in there. That little small form factor drive can either plug into a motherboard such as the Z68 from Intel and add caching to a spinning hard disk, or it can be plugged into a tablet or an Ultrabook environment for a really small form factor, high performance SSD.
Cool. So demo, let's see. Let's
right.
show us this stuff.
Well, if you've never seen an SSD before, super fast. Seeing is believing is what we say at Kingston. So I've just written this little demo batch file here to show you how fast you can open programs and files on this system. This is about 50 files across 7 programs in about 10 seconds or so.
So this is awesome. So basically your boss walks in, you push the button, and they're like, wow, you're so busy.
Yeah, so busy.
Great. So then, performance-wise, how much performance improvement do you see as you sort of work your way up the food chain on the front of that PC?
Well, it's a pretty good jump. Between our KC100 and HyperX and the entry-level V200 series, we've got a model that's going to sandwich right in between there. It's just about to be launched. It's called the V Plus 200 series, and so that'll also be SandForce based, just like our top 2 drives are SandForce controller based.
And that's the I/O speed, right?
Well, SandForce controller, they make the premium high performance controllers for solid state drives on the market. Kingston features those on our top 2 drives, and we're going to have one right in the middle there.